What's up, guys? This is Loden here, coming at you with some Clash Royale gameplay. Um, yeah, today we're starting to do our end of season push. We're about 5,000 in the world right now, so pretty stoked about that. This is actually the highest kind of end of season I've been in the past, so I'm pretty pumped about that. And we actually switched up our deck. So in the video yesterday, I was using a giant graveyard deck, and I saw this Hog Rider cycle deck being used on top of ladder by Ian77. So I decided to just copy this, give it a try, and it was actually working out really well. So today I think I'm going to show you some of my replays of this last push. Had some really nice comebacks and some good plays against some more difficult matchups. So yeah, without further ado, I'll hop into the first game. I think I'll be showing you guys a Lava Hound one for the first game. So Lava Hound with Skeleton King. So it's an interesting matchup for sure. So I'll kind of be going through my mindset as I'm playing this game. First play, it's never a bad idea to just go hog at the river, which is what I do. And it works out that it was opposite lane from the Lava Hound, because you always want to try to go opposite lane. And yeah, so this deck can actually kind of be difficult to play against Lava Hound, because the only air targeting card we have is our Archer Queen. And unlike the usual 2.6 hog, we can't cycle back to 2 Musketeers. Yeah, I was able to distract the Inferno Dragon with skeletons last second, and he definitely goes in pretty heavily right here. But it's nice because we have Valkyrie for the Skeleton King, which is great, and Cannon is actually such a great counter to the balloon now after the nerf, because it doesn't one-shot it, and it'll actually completely defend it. I mean, not defend the death damage, but we're able to get off with no hits and just death damage from that push. So that was really great. I'm just gonna kite these minions back with my Hog Rider, and I had Log ready in case he wanted to go in with the skeleton army, but he decided not to, which allowed me to get a crazy amount of damage. I think we're up some elixir, so yeah, that is really great. And so the other thing with this kind of matchup is since we only do have that one air targeting card, some pushes are just going to be unstoppable. I think this is an example of one of those. I didn't know he had lightning, and so I was trying to set up for my defense, and then literally everything just went away. He just killed everything with that one lightning. So now that I know he has lightning, I can play against it. Yeah, so like I said, you're just going to lose your tower sometimes when you're playing against like Lava Hound, and you can't quite defend it, which is why it's super important to have damage in both lanes and be able to push both sides. So I think I was able to defend the Aftermath there pretty well. Just Archer Queen, super good, especially with her ability. And as soon as I see him playing the Lava Hound in the back, I'm like, all right, I need to go all in the left-hand lane. So at least he'll have to spend a lot of elixir to counter it. So he can't just build up a massive push. And we actually just pretty much take the tower with that. He wasn't able to defend very well. And so, yeah, luckily we were just able to just come away with the win because of that. So really good matchup. I think that kind of explained how to play against Lava Hound and Lava Loon a little bit better. So hope you guys learned something from that game. Our next game is going to be against Skeleton King Bait. And so Bait is actually a pretty good matchup because we have a lot of counters. We have Valkyrie, we have Fire Spirit, we have Log, we have Earthquake for Skeleton Army, and so we have a decent amount of really good matchups, good counters to his bait cards. But what I was not expecting is him to have Mega Knight. And so as soon as he played Mega Knight, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have a really hard time trying to defend this. And yeah, I did. And as you'll see here, the ability just got so much value. I probably should have waited a second longer for the log to kill all the skeletons, but even with that, he went in with a barrel afterwards, and so that was tower down pretty quick. And he actually calls out the cheeky good game, so we'll get revenge for that. Just you wait. So, but definitely not looking like the best game so far. We have to play that better. I wasn't expecting him to have Mega Knight, and so if I knew he had Mega Knight, I would have played differently for sure. And not stacked up the lane for him to just come down like that. Right here, yeah, I'm willing to eat a little bit of damage and not use my spells, because if I can trade damage for elixir to maybe get an advantage, then I'll do that all day. And it actually worked out right here really well, because he went in Mega Knight and Skeleton King in the left lane, which left his right lane wide open, and we were able to get a ton of damage. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, if I can defend this next push, then we have a chance. And so Cannon was putting in a ton of work right there. Just going to log this skeleton army. He's going in really hard here. And so I knew we were just going to eat a lot of damage. And that is what happened. But, the important thing is he didn't take our king tower. And we were able to take one of his towers right here. So as soon as I saw us taking a tower, I actually got excited, because I was like, okay, this could be comebackable. We could make this happen, because I didn't think he had a small spell, and so it'd be pretty difficult for him to cycle 2 fireballs. So I just went all in the left lane. I was like, let me just try to take this tower, and we do, and survive on the right hand tower with only 31 HP, which is insane. So really great comeback. Yeah, I was really happy. Super stoked after I left that game. Yeah, I'll show you guys a 3 Musketeers matchup, because it's a little bit different with this hog cycle deck than like more typical 2.6 with Musketeer and Fireball, because we have Earthquake instead of Fireball. So you just see me go in first play whenever I can, pretty much with hog. It's always a solid play. Yeah, as soon as I saw Royal Ghost and Bandit, I was like, okay, he's playing either P.E.K.K.A., Royal Giant, or 3 Musketeers. And then as soon as I saw the Elixir Collector, I was like, okay, probably very most likely he's playing 3 Musketeers. And Earthquake does a great job against Elixir Collector for negative trade, and we get shower chip damage, so that worked out really well. I didn't realize how much elixir he had there, so I think that hog was a mistake, probably. No, it definitely was a mistake. And he actually punishes us pretty well here, just spamming everything at the bridge. And I think this was a mistake right here. I should have logged, but I was kind of getting greedy, kind of stingy with my elixir. I didn't want to spend anything else, but because I did that, I was actually able to catch him out with not very many good responses in hand, so got a ton of damage, which keeps us level. And I know 3 Musketeer players usually don't have a big spell, so if you're able to defend their pushes, then even if you take a lot of damage, they're not going to be able to finish your tower off until they come up with a new really big push. So you want to keep that in mind while you're playing against 3 Musketeer. And so I feel fine playing my Archer Queen in the back, because I'm like, okay, he doesn't have Fireball, he doesn't have Rocket. It's totally fine to do that. And so, yeah, this will be the first kind of big push that we're going to have to defend. I just wanted to cycle an Earthquake on the tower. I didn't really know what the best play was there. So just did that, and then he lets the archer queen on the left go, which was actually, I think, the biggest mistake, in exchange for dropping an elixir collector, which he knows that I already have earthquake, so that's never a good play. And then just decides to go all in. So I'm like, okay, if I can defend this push, I'll be good. I'll be set, and trying to give it my best shot to defend it. And he just used his heal spirit, so I'm like, okay, that's good. I decided to just eat the musketeer in the right hand lane because I knew I wasn't going to take my tower, and just completely focus on defending in the left hand lane. And yeah, that was it. He wasn't able to break through, which was awesome. So won that game pretty decisively, I would say. I'll probably show maybe one more. This is an Expo matchup, so interesting, interesting match for sure. I know a lot of you guys probably do not like playing against Expo. I definitely don't. I really hate going against Expo, which is why I play decks that directly counter it, like this Hog Earthquake deck and my Giant Graveyard deck. Yeah, so like I said, we have a pretty decent matchup actually, because we can just Expo. We get a lot of value with Earthquaking his Expo whenever he goes in, and we'll get chip damage every time, unless he plays it in the middle, which he actually doesn't do this game at all. So if you are an aspiring Expo player, you want to be playing some Expos in the middle, so I can't Earthquake your tower and the Expo at the same time. But yeah, he'll be able to defend our pushes pretty well. And actually, this is a really good play on his part. He was able to predict the cannon with his knight and just go in there. So, like I said, Earthquake is really good on Expo. And I actually placed the skeletons a second too late, so he got a couple hundred damage on us in the right-hand lane. But nothing too crazy. We just got to make sure he doesn't get any big locks, because if he gets a big lock, then he'll just be able to completely sit back and defend for the rest of the game. So that's kind of our goal. Don't let the Expo lock on a tower. And so actually, yeah, that's the Tesla placement that you can avoid earthquake damage as well. So well played on him for sure. He's playing pretty well so far. And you'll see I decided to log in the right-hand lane because going same lane is actually pretty advantageous for us in this matchup, because if he expos in the right-hand lane, we can just Earthquake the Expo and the tower at the same time, get some chip damage, which is a really good trade for us. So, yeah. Right here, I just go cannon again, trying to cycle. Just make sure I'm taken, and then just cycle back to my Earthquake, because there's not a ton he can do about that. So, and he ignores the queen in the right-hand lane, so we get a lot of damage there too. And you'll see him just keep going in with Expos. As long as I have Valkyrie in hand, I'll be good, because I can just tank it. Here I decided to go in with a Hog because I knew he'd have to put a Tesla or play something else down, so waste a couple elixir there. And he's actually keeping up damage pretty well, so we're just going to try to have him make a mistake. He keeps predicting our cannon, so really well played there as well. And so we decide to just skeletons, make sure he doesn't get any lock on our tower. And I think, what do we do here? Just fire spirit at the bridge. And yeah, so I think that was a good play. He kept Teslaing in the center tower, and since my queen was down, I knew I could cycle really fast back to another Hog Rider with just a 3-card cycle. And so that's what I did, and it really worked out here. You'll see I get a ton of damage, and he calls the good game right there, because he knows that now that I have the damage advantage, I can just kind of earthquake him out. And so, yeah, we're just gonna keep playing a little bit of defense, and but yeah, going in with 9 elixir doesn't leave a ton to defend our hog in the right hand lane again, and so he just gives up. So pretty well played on my part, I'd say. Hard matchup for him for sure, but I think we played that pretty well. So yeah, I think that's all the games. A question for you guys in the future: do you want to see some of these losses? Because I know there's a lot of stuff that we can learn from losses. So that can be helpful. So please let me know in the comments if you want to see some losses as well. Thanks so much for sticking around. Thanks so much for watching the video. We're able to push all the way up to about 5,000 trophies. 5,000 in the world. So that's pretty sweet. Probably like top 400 in the US. So feel pretty good about that. And yeah, like I said, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something and have a great day. Peace out.